What's up, fellow Pan-Africanists? So this is Irene Jep analysis, and here we actually talk about African unity, about Pan-Africanism, and everything to do with that. So in today's video, guess what? Guess what we're gonna talk about? Of course, it's still our beloved Pan-Africanist Julius Malema. You know, guys, on 17th of July, just like 2 days ago, he was in Seshego. That is a township in Limpopo, South Africa. And he was addressing volunteers of EFF and residents of Seshego because there was a by-election in that township. But before I go further, let me tell you what we're going to talk about in this particular video. We're going to discuss the details of the story, its political context, about the whole story, Malema's message and its significance. That is in regards to that speech that he said during that day. So let's listen to these videos and then we come back.
Revolutionary greetings, fighters of what 13 in Pulukwane. Seshego, guys. You made me proud. You made me proud. You went there in numbers. You went to vote and defend the word of our president and commander-in-chief, Julius Malema. We retained the word. EFF leads, ANC follows. They took an opportunistic opportunity that was there in Chuchu Valley. They took government money, the municipal money. They went to buy Chuchu Valley because they said it was an illegal settlement. They went to buy Chuchu Valley. Now Chuchu Valley belongs to the city of Polokwane. After they did that, they then went to promise the people there 700 houses. They directed water there. They gave them toilets in the eve of election to prove that this is an opportunistic character. These are opportunistic characters who are looking to win this ward in this by-election. But the people of Seshego said, we know the person who's been with us. We know Commander-in-Chief Julius Malema. We know the EFF has been the solution to our problems. We know that we even stayed in Juju Valley for over 13 years because of Julius Malema. That is why we named the place Juju Valley, because it's for Juju. You understand? They voted the EFF and we retained our word. From that ward, councillor was not attending council meeting and they kicked him out. We thank you, fighters of Seshego. Continue being available to the people of Seshego. Continue being the solution on the ground. Because a fighter who is not a solution to the society, it's a hypocrite and it's a criminal. We don't want criminals in this organization, but we want solutions to the problems of the society. Thank you very much. I salute all of you for your positive contribution. Siyabangena for 2026. Siyabashaya. 2026 now we're focusing on taking the whole of Polokwane. If possible, the whole of Limpopo. Those municipalities in Limpopo, we must take them all. We must take them all and make the job of Dr. Poppy very hard. Ramotuba, once we take the whole of Limpopo in the local government, Poppy Ramotuba will have to work through us. And then now, ANC in 2029 must die completely and never see anything and never see rise once again. It must die completely. So thank you very much, fighters of Ward 13. Let's continue with that spirit, fighters. And other fighters on the other branches and the other communities, even though it's not in Limpopo, guys, if there are by-elections, learn from the people of Ward 13. They have just started this thing. They are leading by example. Commander-in-Chief, we thank you that when you say we must win our wards for us to contest power, you also win your ward. Thank you very much, Commander-in-Chief. We love your contribution to the revolution of our people. Indeed, the revolution is the greatest act of love.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for listening. So I want us to talk about the details of the Seshego address. So Pardon me if I don't know how to pronounce it well, but yeah, I just hope that you will understand. So we are talking about a small town in South Africa that was having, I don't know if it's still having, but there was a by-election there, and of course the main competitors. We have the ANC versus the EFF, and the EFF belongs to the Pan-Africanist Julius Malema, and then the ANC belongs to the ruling party. So on July 17th, imagine at 2:30 a.m. in the morning. Julius Malema is there in the podium singing, jumping, and then finally he addressed the community members of Seshego and volunteers of EFF. What he was actually doing was to thank them for the community service and also for their hard work and dedication to the EFF's cause. Of course, you all know the reason as to why EFF was formed, right? I think we shouldn't even repeat here today because we've always been talking about them. So what he did, number one, was to talk, or not really like talking against, but criticizing the municipalities in South Africa. A lot of things are ongoing there. The municipalities, they owe the government like over 17 billion South African rands in debt. I mean, there is misuse of funds, misuse of public funds, I would say. He also talked about the ANC buying voters. I know some of you are like, okay, especially those who are living abroad, how are votes bought? So this is what happens. For instance, there is an election in Kenya. You know what normally comes? The person that is vying for a particular seat, they come where you are or mobilizes for people or uses somebody who is influential to mobilize people to gather, and then they come, say their agenda, and yeah, they are given, for instance, here in, okay, let me just use dollar because dollar is recognized worldly. So the person that is addressing this particular gathering that wants to be voted in, probably as a councillor, as a member of parliament, as a senator, they give out, like $1. I will say even $1 is a lot. And that's what Malema meant by, they're buying votes instead of empowering them genuinely. One thing with empowerment is that these people will live forever, like not really like forever, but at least they will have something on the table every day rather than, having something on the table for only one day. And one thing with these politicians of ours, once you vote them in, hey, that's the end. They change the contacts, the details, they change so many things, and it's accessing them becomes extremely difficult. So EFF, on the other hand, they focus on empowering communities through grassroots efforts. When you open a business for a lady or for a man, and this business, they'll be getting something small at the end of the day, and that by doing that, you'll have helped them. If you open a factory, if you open a company, you employ the community around, that is a big advantage. That's what you call empowerment. But the other one of buying them food, by giving them money, that is political manipulation. And the funny thing is that most people will prefer the political manipulation side of it. Like, I will vote for you because at least you gave me something to eat. I have eaten your money, then let me give you back my vote. Instead of, looking the other way around, the empowerment part, empowerment part, of course, it doesn't reach everybody because probably, for instance, they open a company or they build a school and then they employ those people that are qualified within the community. And then this other person whose family didn't get a chance, they'll be like, no, I didn't get anything. My family didn't get any. I'm not going to vote for him. I'll vote, or him or I'll vote for this person that gave me their money. So, that's what happens, and that's how we end up electing poor leaders that not really like poor, but leaders who are not there to help us, but leaders who are there to, enrich themselves. So Malema, in that particular address to the residents of Seshego, he told them that, what, it is important that we rely on ourselves. It's important that we have our own industries, build our own, if it's clothing brand, we do it on our own instead of exporting it to another country. They rebrand it, and then it comes back to Africa, we start buying them. That is hectic and it's not helping us at all. But if we depend on ourselves, we create our own businesses, then that's the way to go. So EFF, as we all know, it prioritizes on genuine community upliftment. And we have seen all that. If you are a staunch follower of Julius Malema, you already know that. He is opening people's mind to see that. And what he does is, everything to do with community empowerment. So he warned the ANC that, you should stop this political manipulation kind of thing. And I don't know, should I say it's the politicians who are the problem or it's the voters who are the problem? Kindly comment down below and let me know, because that thing is really kind of confusing, because at the end of the day, people will vote in a certain leader, and then after 2 years, 3 years, they start complaining they hate on the leader, and it's them who elected them. You will see these people I mean campaigning for these leaders, and after 2 3 years the guy or the woman doesn't help them. They're out here now saying that don't vote for this person, is bad, she's bad. So politics is a dirty game, right? So when you look at the history of Seshego, it has an historically significant story or context. And that being said, we will talk of it being a stronghold for EFF when it comes to both the working class and also the youth. Okay, as of now, we call them the Gen Zs. And if you look at the Kenyan politics, or if you look at Kenya in general, okay, when it comes to people that go to the streets, they demonstrate for their rights, they want this, they don't want that, it is the youth. And I saw somebody on X saying that, what, the youths of South Africa should wake up and embrace what the youths of Kenya are doing. They're fighting for their own rights. They are not waiting for anybody to push for them, to say anything for them. And I think that's why Julius Malema focuses so much on youths. He's trying to open their minds and make them understand, like, yeah, if there is something that we need to do is to know your history. I mean, we need to put Wi-Fi's in schools, hospitals, in public places. We need to get rid of, these pit latrines. Those are the things that is trying to tell them and make them understand what they really need to have. And guys, this by-election that was in South Africa, it hasn't really, that political mood has not yet ended. But, Julius Malema really talked about so many things that made so much sense. And on the municipality, township dysfunctionality, he really touched on it, because why would the government give municipalities funds and then again they come and misuse it? So it was like, you should elect the EFF party, the champions who are vying through or via the EFF, because with EFF it's all about the people. It's the people first. Actually, in politics, it will, I mean, those people that are really have interest of people in their hearts, they normally don't get voted in. Only those who give out money that gets voted in. But after they get the seat, they win, the first thing they do is to get as much money as they can to return it back. So can we now talk about the political context or side of it? So at the moment, South Africa, I will say the municipalities, they are facing a governance crisis. You can imagine the treasury is still looking for this money that has gotten lost, and then no job has been done. Like, it has not been used in a good way. For it hasn't done anything good, like making roads or doing road construction, hospital, schools, empowering the women. All this money, they're just, I mean, it has been misused. And then again, the municipalities, they owe the treasury over 17 billion South African rands. I mean, what's really happening there? So when it comes to Julius Malema addressing the residents of Seshego at 2 a.m. in the morning, I will say this particular story, it has caused so many people, or it has made so many people to scrutinize, what's really happening in these particular municipalities. Why are we voting for these people? They're looking at all the mismanagement that is happening here and there. But of course, the EFF are like, we have a strategy. We have a strategy. Kindly listen to us. So EFF under Malema's leadership is like, EFF has positioned itself as a populist alternative to ANC. And of course, by Malema addressing the communities directly, the Seshego community and the EFF volunteers, by addressing them directly, he reinforces the image of EFF in such a way that, it shows what it's trying to bring out is the image of EFF, that it really prioritizes the people, the common citizens. Anyway, my good people, when you look at the timing also, you can imagine a politician like Julius Malema addressing people at 2 a.m. in the morning. That shows the willingness that he has to lead, the willingness that he has to support the people of South Africa. And of course, that really, really resonates well with everybody, because it's like, this guy is really dedicated. I mean, at 2 a.m. addressing us this time, other people are busy sleeping, they don't even care. Anyway, thank you so much. If you watched this particular video, I truly appreciate your presence. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Don't forget to subscribe.